Why are there always reservations for Paradiso?
Princess Bear, today we're in Disney Springs on a slightly damp day because it's time to return to
Paradiso 37.
Yes, Paradiso 37 has piqued our interest. It's your number one choice of foodie for entertainment. We're here to try this menu so you don't have to. So she's vegan. I'm not. This better take me to paradise.
It's time to foodie and chill. This is the chips and salsa trio. Now they can actually modify the nachos to be vegan, but like at that point you're just getting onions and pico. So we thought this was a better value to just do the trio. Bear can have the queso if he wants it, or we can just skip the queso entirely. Now it's tradition for me, I'm gonna do salsa. Get a nice little salsa bath. And then I'm gonna add some guac to that because I think guacamole and salsa together are a match made in heaven. And then of course, I can't get any guacamole. And now I've just ruined the guacamole with salsa. Okay, you guys, I don't want to have to say this, but if I have to choose between guacamole at any of the Mexico pavilions, or Maya Grill, or I think I might at this point even say Three Bridges, I would rather have the guacamole here. It is creamy, it is delicious, it's only topped with tomatoes, there's no tomatoes inside, and the salsa is good. So yeah, if Paradiso has anything, it's guacamole. I would give it a 4.75 out of 5 guacamoles. It is Californian approved.
To hear the princess say that about guac at Paradiso is a shock. Like, if you could, I need to have a camera on my face sometimes so you can see the reactions for either of us on either side of the camera, because those would be entertainment all on its own. But I guess I had to try the queso. I am not a queso connoisseur, but this queso color is not confidence inspiring. This looks like Velveeta cheese.
I like Velveeta cheese.
But again, we do this so you don't have to. It's nice and thick. It's not a runny queso. It's like middle of the house queso. I can do like, I like my queso with like a little bit more spice to it. Not like spicy, but like I like it to have a little bit of like a layering complexity of flavor. This is just like cheese sauce. It feels like Fritos canned cheese sauce you get from like the grocery store. Just not giving anything back. Let me go ahead and try it. On its own, I'm giving it a 2.75 out of 5 claws. You can get better queso elsewhere. However, let me not judge. Let me get salsa and some queso.
Salsa and queso or salsa and guac?
Salsa and queso. Marketed improvement. Even when just salsa, a lot more flavor, a little bit more of that spice I'm looking for. That's enough for me to give it a 3.25 out of 5 claws. The key here, the salsa is the ultimate modifier. Let's try the guac. The princess is so interested. That is very good guac, both creamy and fresh. You know, Paradiso has a very strong happy hour. Maybe you should stop in. I give the guac a 4.25 out of 5 claws.
This is my second shot at the Paradiso plant-based burger. They can do a double, which I was tempted to do. But I've never had a double Beyond Burger before. It's usually impossible, and I feel like that's a little much. I have been on a double cheese kick, though. I got double cheese at the Edison, and I think I did it also at House of Blues recently. So I double cheesed it here as well. It is a large burger. There's 3 sticks in it for a reason, I think. The guac, I already know is amazing, so I'm excited about that. But picking this up and eating it, that's going to be a challenge. She is a messy girl with the pico and the guac. I commit to my mistakes. I got guac on my yucca, and that makes me sad. But I do enjoy the pretzel bun. I love the cheese, the pico, and the guac. I do not think that guacamole and Beyond go well together. I think it's better if it was Impossible, or if they just had a different sauce, or just don't have the guac. Pico, cheese, maybe like lettuce, tomato, or just like lettuce would be much better, I think. I do love the pretzel bun though, so it gets bonus points for that. There's not a lot of places where you can get a pretzel bun on a burger. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 burgers.
So, the sort of slogan for Paradiso 37 is celebrate the Americas. North America. Well, it's not North America. The Americas, period. Celebrate the Americas, which means North, South, and Central America. And for the most part, I think that their menus are fairly indicative of that for the most part. Problem is, it does also mean that their menu feels times all over the place. So when you get to the plant-based burger, with the pretzel bun decision, a massive amount of guacamole, also a choice, and then the cheese, you end up with something that looks like either the best mashup of the Americas or the worst. But we commit to our mistakes, even the American ones. I definitely applaud the effort. I like it when obviously I've ranted on this channel several times about how having a plant-based burger nowadays isn't enough. You need extras. Simply slapping cheese and tomato on a burger is boring, and I could go to, well, Burger King for that. The guac is an interesting flavor, but there's something about the Beyond aftertaste that just feels like you're putting guacamole on cardboard in between a pretzel bun. The pretzel bun is very distinct. The guacamole is just as good as it was in our dip trio. Beyond Burger is the weakest link here, and it tastes like it. If this had been like a house-made like black bean burger or an Impossible burger, I feel like the result would be a lot different and a lot more unique. As it is, it's just stuff on top of a burger. I would give it 3 out of 5 balls.
You do have your choice of sides. You can do plenty of sides. Regularly, it comes with fries. I was trying to decide between tostones and yucca, but I haven't had yucca in a while, and I love any excuse to have yucca, so I'm doing that. And I'm just going to take the one with the guac, because why not? Cheers to a nice yucca fry. As far as Disney yucca fries go, this tastes equivalent to what you can get at Spyglass Grill. I do not think it's better than Amatista at Universal, but for Disney, like, it's basically up there with everything else. I got no complaints, and I think it's tasty. And I would take yucca over French fries any day of the week. It is a 4 out of 5 yucca.
Nice, tasty, crispy yucca. We have tried cooking yucca at home. Cutting yucca is extremely difficult. At least it was for me, given the tools we had at the time. Mind you, we also needed a knife sharpener at the time, but we always love to get yucca when we can. One day we will try to cook it at home again. Maybe not in 2026. No. Crispy yucca, warm on the inside, no complaints. It is what the yucca should be. Delicious. 4.25 out of 5 plus. Now, when I say all over the place for this menu, I mean all over the place. Previously, on this menu, they had a bunch of flatbreads, which are now gone, but brand new on the menu, they now have pasta that you can do in different configurations. I decided to go with the Paradiso shrimp pasta. You can get it one of 2 ways. You can get it Dominican style with a Paradise 37, quote-unquote, Sofrito with it. Or you can get a lobster cream sauce, so New England style. And then the shrimp comes to grilled. I decided to go to how Paradiso would do it. Obviously, because I'm lactose intolerant, I could get the lobster cream, but that would be risking it for the biscuit. why not just try it as Paradiso intended? You have nice, huge pieces of grilled shrimp, putting on top, a little bit of basil, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Smells amazing. Does it taste amazing? It does actually taste quite good. The shrimp is nice and juicy, not overcooked, like perfectly cooked. I could do it some more like grilling, like the grill marks or something like that, but it's cooked correctly, which is the point. The acidity in the Sofrito actually pairs really well with the shrimp, so you don't get like a briny flavor. It feels like a well-involved, well-thought-out dish, and it's tasty. The sauce is good. Dominican style, I think, is the way to go, at least for me. It's a hearty dish, and honestly, for the price, I'm not that upset about it. I would give it 3.75 out of 5 claws. Did I expect to come here and get pasta? Well, I mean, yeah, because we looked up ahead of time, but it's not usually a place I would come for pasta, but maybe now I will, every now and again.
I got the golden Fiesta, and you can make it 2 sizes, small or large. I went large so I could drink Shane Bear, and I got tahini. Very sweet, delicious. I would say it's a little heavy on the Gala. Is it Gala? Yeah. Or maybe it's the Agave. I think maybe it's a little hard on the Agave. Not the best margarita on a Disney Springs, but you know, they're big, so there's that. I give it a 3 out of 5 margaritas.
I decided to go with the Captain Skittles, the small size Captain Skittles. So it's taller, I guess. I don't know. When you add blue Curaçao, agave, and lime juice, I'm worried it's going to be too juicy. And I felt if I went the large, it'd be mostly juice. When the star is supposed to be this spiced rum and a bunch of different flavors, I guess it's supposed to be like tasting the rainbow, but with rum? What could go wrong? Here's the thing. Truth in advertising, it does taste like Skittles. Believe it or not, legitimately, it tastes like somebody took a handful of Skittles, melted them, put them in a drink on ice with rum. Now, being that said, I want you to think about that picture in your head. How would you feel about melted Skittles on ice in a glass with rum? Is that something that sparks your fancy? Or is it something that may make you sick to your stomach? It's a lot of juice. And it's very, very sweet. I would give that 3.5 out of 5 claws. I believe that sometimes Paradiso maybe gets some undue hate.
I'm actually full from Paradiso, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it was a remarkably decent meal.
I really loved my Yucca. The burger was better than I expected it to be. I do think they lose points for the Beyond, but I love the vegan cheese. So I have no notes.
The pasta was decent, I'm not complaining. It's a hard place to choose for pasta because you have Marina's next door, Terralina not that far away. So, I mean, you have other, like, pasta choices, but, I mean, if you're here, you're craving pasta, you could do worse.
And I have seen online some people saying that Paradiso is, like, one of the more affordable restaurants in Disney Springs. I do not agree.
Yeah.
Every plate is at least $20.
Every appetizer was $20, except for one, I think it was 19.
My burger was, like, $24, and yours was, like, $29. Like,
yeah, it's 29.
Very overpriced.
But we know what you guys think. Paradiso sometimes gets a bad rap. Maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong. We let you guys hear from you in the comments below. As always, if there's anything else you can see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. Otherwise, Bear will become in North America and leave this America?
I guess I'm moving to Central America. But you heard the girl.